Movie leaks. This character dies.
Safety Fence 2. Hi guys, it's me, Z from the YouTube channel, Z Shadow. We recently got the introduction of Book 9, which brought about your standard new book stuff, aka a new banner, a minuscule amount of story content, and a sneak peek at our next Choose Your Legends winner. The new book also brought about a brand new mythic typing and a new feature called the Calling Circle, which allows an additional unit to spawn into the map after turn 2, or I guess at the start of the turn 3 player phase, which is either your own player phase or in the enemy's case, your enemy phase. Although having to wait until turn 3 seems like a long time, maybe a unit could end up moving in before any of the reinforcements potentially show up. If only there was a convenient way to make it happen, guaranteed. Maybe something that shouldn't be announced in the Fae channel? Well, don't you worry about that, cause they thought way ahead of you. Introducing the Safety Fence upgrade called Safety Fence 2. Because it's the second version. Once upon a time, Fae released Legendary Sigurd, and his whole thing was that he could naturally move 4 spaces and give out a movement buff once his special went off. This was one of the craziest things at one point in time, because you could pair him with somebody who could further increase his movement with an effect called Pathfinder. Little did we know it could get worse by giving out more Pathfinder and an inevitable 5 movement Sigurd, but that's neither here nor there. With the release of Sigurd, soon came the original Safety Fence 1, which was pretty strong overall because it essentially gave the attacking player a free turn. Assuming it wasn't either destroyed or a unit was out of range, then you were probably fine. That was all the way back in Book 5, so roughly 3.5 years ago, if I did my math correctly, which I never really do. So fast forward to today, or I guess a couple weeks ago, and now you have the second upgrade. What does the upgrade do, you might ask? Well, instead of shutting off the opponent's team for 1 turn, now you could shut it off for 2 turns. Hence the number 2. I think I said this before, but I think this has more implications than the Calling Circle itself, even though they only have ruined the show for it at the moment. 2 free turns to essentially do whatever you want has made hit and run strategy so strong that it feels like cheating at times. Here's a demonstration with live awful commentary. Okay, I said live, but it's not live because I did not record it while being live, but that's okay. Look at my team. Ooh, it has a bunch of units, and I can move in and do stuff, I think. I don't even know if this is syncing to the footage or this is making it even better, but yeah, man, look at this. I can repost Sigurd and yeah, there we go. I could repost Sigurd and then Crom could go in and he could do his stuff, which is pretty good, right? But you know, the dumb armor couldn't deal with him because armor effectiveness is pretty good, but oh no, the cancel control happened, and now Sigurd can just go in and do what he needs to do because there's nobody really protecting any of the units now. Also, this is chaos season because of course. And look at that, no cancel control anymore, which means now I could just run away with no issue whatsoever. But I should probably use Bernadetta to draw back because that's better. And then I could have whatever else happen after that, like a repo, and then something else. I don't know. My commentary is probably not helping for this, but you see what I mean? Look at that. Turn 1, Safety Fence. Bam. They can't do anything. Because, yeah, Safety Fence is really awesome. But what if I repoed Sigurd again?
I'll handle this.
And then use Sigurd to do whatever again, because game balance. Isn't that awesome? Isn't that so cool? Isn't that the most amazing super something? I forgot the lyrics, whatever. Anyway, Dead Felix. And then you ready for this one? You ready for this one? You'll never believe what I do. I run away.
Message received.
And look at that. Safety Fence 2. No worries. Celica can't do anything. Sigurd can't do anything because Safety Fence 2 is that cool. And then the rest I just kind of beat their ass because of course I can. I have literally nothing else to add. So enjoy gameplay with whatever music I decide to put in the background.
Yours?
Yeah, sure I can.
Leave it to me. Message received.
Man, that sure is something alright, ain't it? I totally didn't lose some matches trying to get footage. No siree, I'm just that good. By the way, this also has a really good synergy with the Bolt Tower because it also goes off on turn 3, which means you can have a much easier time picking off units that way. If you don't want to do any hit and run stuff, you could just hang back for a few turns with no issue whatsoever. Safety Fence 2 has made the strategy of hit and run so strong that I don't really see myself doing much else for a while. Besides Gale Force Advantage and Omni taking and save balls. Actually, that's every strategy, isn't it? And this would be the part of the video where I would have to start complaining at IS for the thing that won't change in the game. However, in a change of pace, we will not be doing that. Instead, we must do what we always do when something new enters the game. Cry and complain about it endlessly. And then adapt. Okay, so Safety Fence 2 is the crux of the issue, right? I think there's a very, very easy solution at our miss already. We run 5 Dumas because that will guaranteed get rid of the safety fence and the foe won't have any protection after. But then the Duma won't have any protection because Duma is really bad, so he'll just get picked off naturally anyway. Or maybe you could use a Bright Felix with like 5 to 6 blessings or something. I don't know if he could carry by himself. Probably not these days. Okay, that might not be feasible, but running 2 Dumas should be. It's still running 2 bad units, but that's 2 catapults that will guaranteed hit something. What that something is, though? I don't know. Maybe that won't work because it's not guaranteed, but asking for people to run 5 Dumas is asking for a lot, including any chance at winning. I think the best solution would be for IS to make a brand new C slot that acts like a catapult. Although that raises a new problem. Would people pull for a skill that only did that? Every new skill has like 6 effects, so they would probably have to make it more enticing. Maybe add some stats and true damage reduction, true damage and pass and Celica warping. That'd probably do it, but then you would probably have a different issue and more units being able to warp in, especially since the restrictions for the skill aren't really that bad, so you could have all types of units warping. Although I think a solution for that skill wouldn't be too bad either. You would just run a near save or far save or some support, but depending on who's warping, that might not work out because they probably could defeat the save, or run a support that just negates saves entirely. You could try and Gale Force the team if enemy phasing doesn't work, but that might not work either because of ice terrain and traps and stuff. Kind of a difficult predicament, I'm not gonna lie. The only thing I could think of that would be really worthwhile is some kind of barrier-like structure for the protection of the team. It could prevent the opponent from going in for a certain amount of turns and allow you to have a fighting chance against the team. Maybe some kind of safety fence. 2, I am the unfunniest person ever. I think the biggest thing with the safety fence is that it kind of oversteps the boundary for fine balance, which and balance, more like
Yes, leaks.
it should favor the attacking player more than the defending one in basically every scenario, but the degree in which it favors the attacking one does matter, to be fair. Let's use this chart or something. I don't know. I just kind of drew something in like MS Paint for like, I don't know, 10 seconds. You're here. Look at this. Okay. You see this? See it on the screen? All right, cool. Here's what I think the favor should lean for the player versus the foe, right? You know, I think this seems kind of reasonable. And here's where I think it currently resides. The opposing player should at least have a fighting chance, you know? Although this could easily swing back when they introduce a really strong defense mythic again, which would mean I would have to make a video talking about how we need Safety Fence 3. But then once we get that, then I'm going to make a sequel to this video, talk about how it's unbalanced. And it just goes on and on and on and on and on and on. Okay, guys, new idea. Just put Hathorn and Neathhogger on a defense team together for both seasons and then load up on Bulwark frontliners or something. It doesn't matter if they aren't in season because if you win, you lose 0 points anyway. You could also try Brave Felix because people hate running into that unit. It's like a guaranteed insta-surrender from the player unless they know what they're doing, but if they know what to do, then run another Felix to counteract it and just keep adding Felixes to the team until they go away or lose, or preferably both because you want to win, and that's a great thing. You could also do a similar thing and find any annoying unit. I don't know which one. There's probably a lot of annoying units, but there's specifically really, really annoying units that you should just throw a bunch of them on the team because I'm telling you guys, it works every time, half of the time, some of the times. And when it does work, you feel really good, and when it doesn't work, you definitely feel really bad about it. But when it does work, it does work. And you do like it when it does work, and I would recommend working on that. Other than that, I have one idea left, so buckle up because you're going to want to hear this one. You sure you don't want to try 5 Dumas? It's worked before. And in conclusion, I don't know. I doubt this will really affect that much in the grand scheme, but it's hard to say. Although if there has to be a takeaway message from this video, then at least let me say this. I think the best thing we could do as a collective is blame Fire Emblem's very own Sigurd Fire Emblem, because if 4 movement was enough for the introduction of the safety fence, then 5 movement is enough for the upgrade. And I know it's specifically done for calling circle stuff, but I think it's funnier if I blame this one character instead for all our problems. I think that would work out tremendously.
I am Sigurd.